Hello, my name is Rosalind Manning, and this is Lauren Rata, and we are your digital learning coaches here in Oldham County. We wanted to just go over the instructional technology coaching cycle with you, just so you had an understanding of what this is. So our instructional technology coaching cycles are a 6 to 8 week process where one of us will come in and sit down with you and create a goal for our 8 weeks together and really focus in on using innovative instructional technology strategies in your classroom. And this is pretty flexible based on whatever your needs are in your own classroom. We would meet virtually with you every week, and we would be able to we can lesson plan or work on tools with you. But this is really whatever you need in your own virtual classroom.
So let's take a look at that 6-step model. So it starts off, as you can see up there at the top, with that initial meeting and goal setting. So usually, yes, we'd meet face-to-face, but since you're VLA, we would meet via Google Meet with you. And we would first just get to know each other, because building a relationship is important if we're working together for 6 to 8 weeks. We'll talk about, well, what available technology do your students have in your virtual classroom? Also, what tools and resources do you have as a teacher? And we'll go ahead and identify what would be your first goal that you'd like to accomplish within our cycle. And even go ahead and get started with, well, okay, if that's our goal, what do we want to start working on immediately now? What could Rosalind or I prepare for you to begin? Next comes the initial observation. And so for VLA, that would look like we might join really quickly for 5 minutes a live Google Meet for your synchronous instruction, or it might be we watch on our own an asynchronous lesson that you've already recorded and posted, whether it's on Seesaw or Google Classroom, so we can kind of see what your teaching style is like. If it is live, what's your classroom management? What strategies do you use in your Google Meet? And that just better helps Rosalind and I, as we're planning, that we kind of mimic and model what you're doing as a teacher, so that it feels like that we're just another teacher in that virtual learning environment. From there, then each week, step 3, 4, and 5 kind of interflow within the next couple of weeks. Every week we meet, whether that looks like you and I meeting virtually to reflect on what happened and what our next steps are. It might look like we have a new tool we want to use and we're tool training, or it might look like we are collaborating and literally planning a lesson together so that we can then deliver that instruction. And so that kind of ebbs and flows. And just like students in your classroom, that'll be gradually released. So it might start with more coaching centered. So Rosalind and I might model things at first more often, and then we'll release that responsibility onto you. And then we will just kind of give you some feedback and real-time coach in the process. That's our goal at the end, is that you're independently using this technology seamlessly with your students. And at the very end, we always end with a reflection meeting so that we can reflect on that process. How did it go for you? Also, how did we support you, or how can we better improve this process for future coaching cycle candidates? And then also, how can we continue to support you, even though we're not going to meet every week after that 6 to 8 weeks? We can still support you within your virtual learning environment to help you to continue. So if you're interested, how might you sign up, you're probably thinking. And so I'm going to have Rosalind pull up our form. We're going to have Sarah include this link to this form here within this exact same video. And so as you can see, this is a request form. If you'll put in your first name, last name, you'll choose the school that you're associated with as a VLA school. What is your role? So tell us probably your grade level. And then if you can look at those and decide, what are you most interested? Those are just a few ideas. So if you don't see what we have there as ideas for things we could focus in on, that just kind of helps us as we come to that initial meeting to kind of see what you're interested in to begin. You can always click other. And then last but not least, as you can see, cycle 1 has already started. We already engaged with some coaching cycle candidates, including, actually, we have Miss P is one of our coaching cycle candidates right now within VLA, but cycle 2 starts January 5th. So if you're ready, you think here in the next month or so to get started to collaborate with us, that's great. But if you're thinking this is great, but I think I'd rather wait until late winter, early spring, you might choose cycle 3 there. And then we'll reach out to you if that necessarily fits our availability as well. So we would reach out to you after you fill out that form to say thank you for your request, and then so that we can get started. Thank you all so much, and please let us know if you have any further questions about our instructional technology coaching cycles.